JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off The Script. Big Show and Ryback, Strowman and Roman. Get off my fucking TV and save me the misery. And all you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off The Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off The Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. This is the place where Eva Marie will be constantly destroyed every chance that I get. And this is the number one fucking podcast in your subscription box right here on YouTube.com. This is Off The Script. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. Episode 129, part number 2 for your Saturday, August 6th, 2016. Man, I'm glad you guys enjoyed my little Eva Marie rant. And for those who asked, I do not plan my rants in advance. I don't have anything written down. Everything is off the top of my head, man. That's how I usually operate. The only thing that I have notes on is what I'm going to be talking about in the video that I am recording. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. If you missed part 1 with my absolutely greatest of all time Eva Marie rant, link will be down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for joining me here for part 2. We got a lot to go over. Yesterday, we talked about the WWE Universal Championship and what the rumored plans are for that going into Summerslam. Today, we're going to talk about the WWE Championship and what WWE's original plans were for Dean Ambrose and where they are going with the WWE Championship heading into SummerSlam and possibly beyond with Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler. So that's going to be the top story on part 2 of Off The Script today. Before we get into that, I do want to thank you guys for your support of my buddy Falcon. He's doing a bike ride for awareness of MS this weekend, so wish him luck on that. Continue to subscribe to him. He's another WWE YouTuber. I want you guys to go out there and show him some support. I want to get him to at least closer to 10,000 subs, man. He just hit 9,000, and he broke his donation goal for his bike ride this weekend. So if you guys want to go check him out, I'll leave you his channel in the description all weekend long. Make sure you guys go show him some support on that. Get off my TV, man. We are getting a new t-shirt very, very, very soon. I got my buddy Connor, artist over at Pro Wrestling Tees, 1 Hour Tees, designing the t-shirt as we speak. I hope to have a rough prototype to show you guys on Twitter, hopefully by the end of the weekend. But it is coming. It will be for sale, and I honestly think this is going to outsell Roman Reigns. I think this is going to outsell the Roman Reigns t-shirt. I think more people at this point in time despise Eva Marie more than Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns is taking a back seat for a little bit. But that t-shirt is still available. If you guys want to get any of my merchandise on my online shop via Barbershop Window, we are an official partner with Barbershop Window, 1 Hour Tees, Pro Wrestling Tees. The link is down in the description, or if you just want to go to the website, you'll see the wrestling t-shirts menu. Drop that motherfucker down. You'll see official partners, and we are an official partner with Barbershop Window. $19.99. They ship worldwide. No matter where the fuck you are, man, you'll get your t-shirt. So make sure you guys go and get yours today. WrestleCrate.com. My friends over at WrestleCrate, man. At WrestleCrate on Twitter, or at WrestleCrates on Twitter, and then WrestleCrate.com. Make sure you guys go check those guys out. Coupon code JDSENTME for an instant 10% off. The Ultimate Crate is the best value for your money, man. I can't believe the amount of shit you get in that crate, man. That Jay Lethal figure there, that shit goes for close to $30. That is worth more than the crate itself. Plus, you get t-shirts, trading cards, you got Funko Pop, you got signed autographs from some of the biggest names in the independent scene today. WrestleCrate.com and on Twitter at WrestleCrates. Use the coupon code JDSentMe for an instant 10% off. Follow me on Twitter at JDFromNY206 if you guys want to keep up to date on everything regarding this channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, JD from NY206. And if you guys do want to pledge to the Patreon account, that is patreon.com/JD from NY206. Go over there, visit it if you have not done so yet. Read the mission statement, read what I want to accomplish, where I want to take this channel, why I started YouTube. And if you feel like you want to pledge, please do so. Everything is greatly appreciated. T-shirts for some of you patrons are going out this weekend, so you guys will be starting to get your t-shirts, and I want to see fucking pictures of your t-shirts when you get them on Twitter, man. So thank you guys so much for everything. That's patreon.com/JD from NY206. Now, we discussed the WWE Universal Championship, and that WWE is thinking about putting it on Finn Balor. I told you guys that I think Finn Balor should be the one chasing. I think it would enhance his babyface run. I think people would get behind him a little bit more. And after SummerSlam, I think a lot of things are going to be in the favor of Finn Balor being probably the biggest superstar on the main roster for WWE. If it was up to me when it came to Finn Balor, you're probably going to get the Club versus the New Day, which I don't understand. I would have Enzo and Cass versus the New Day at SummerSlam, but that's just my honest opinion. All signs, and you guys know that for a fact, all signs were pointing towards Enzo and Cass versus the New Day at SummerSlam. I think WWE is going in a different direction. They may be going with Jericho and Owens. They kind of teased an alliance on Monday Night Raw. They may be going against Enzo and Cass at SummerSlam to give those guys something credible to do. I don't mind that match at all, but I would rather see Enzo and Cass win the tag team titles in Brooklyn, in New York, at SummerSlam. What a fucking moment that would be. But the New Day is going up against the Club. You got Gallows and Anderson. Now, this is a multi-branded pay-per-view. I would actually have AJ Styles beat John Cena, right? Everybody wants AJ Styles to beat John Cena at SummerSlam, and with the rumors of John Cena taking time off, I don't see John Cena winning this match whatsoever. I think it would be a massive, massive mistake and a huge lost opportunity for WWE if they don't give AJ Styles the win here. An AJ Styles win at SummerSlam clean. It has to be clean. None of this fucking bullshit, interference, outside interference, whatever. You got to have AJ Styles win clean. Styles clash in the middle of the ring. Referee counts 1, 2, 3, and Styles wins. That's it. And the Club wins the tag team titles. You solidify them as a threat to the tag team division after months and months and months of neglect. You finally build them up as a credible threat in the tag team division. They could possibly go on to have a very, very long run. AJ Styles would have beat John Cena. You know, the possibility, if WWE wants to get creative with this, to have Styles and Balor kind of cross paths. You got Styles, Gallows, and Anderson. They help Balor win the Universal Championship, being that they're all on the same brand, multi-brand pay-per-view. And they could pretty much solidify, and the Club would be represented on both brands. You would have Balor and Anderson and Gallows finally align themselves, and then you would have AJ Styles on SmackDown. So the Club would be pretty much omnipresent. They would have a huge presence over the WWE. Now, I understand this would turn Balor into a heel. I understand that. And that's not probably what WWE wants to do at this current time. But there will be other multi-branded pay-per-views. I'm just giving you guys my thought about WWE kind of intertwining Raw and SmackDown superstars on their pay-per-views, because we're seeing it at SummerSlam with Lesnar and Randy Orton. And that's Raw versus SmackDown. And there's rumors going around that WWE wants to do Raw versus SmackDown a little bit more often. They want to have those head-to-head matches with one superstar from each brand, kind of like bragging rights. And you guys remember that fucking pay-per-view bragging rights? Absolutely awful. What a terrible fucking concept that was. I hope I never see that return ever again. This would be the bragging rights that would probably work best if WWE wanted to go down that road. A Raw superstar, a SmackDown superstar, every time you have a big multi-branded pay-per-view, they would clash in a one-on-one confrontation. But if you want to start and get the wheels rolling with Balor and Styles and Gallows and Anderson pretty much aligning themselves together, and Balor getting the Universal Championship due to outside interference, which pretty much would turn Seth Rollins into the babyface that he should have been when he came back from his injury at Extreme Rules, when he attacked Roman Reigns. He got that huge reaction. Then he came out the next night on Monday Night Raw, and WWE did absolutely nothing with it. They turned him heel almost immediately. I think if WWE wants to have fun with this and they want to be creative, everybody's expecting Balor to be the face of the company. Everybody's expecting Balor to be the baby face. He's going to win the title. He's going to be the face of the new era. If WWE wants to throw a wrench into everybody's plans and gears, they could easily do a double turn, which I don't think would be all that bad. I wouldn't mind it at all. Rollins could be the baby face that they want for this new era, and Balor could be the heel. And everybody says Balor works better as a heel anyway. And he gets very boring very fast as a babyface. And I could see that being a complaint by many people already. That was a complaint of everybody's when he was down in NXT. So if WWE wants to have fun with this, Gallows, Anderson, Styles, Balor can pretty much align themselves and make the club, or the Bullet Club, omnipresent over both brands. Seth Rollins could be the babyface chasing the heel in Finn Balor. And we could eventually start planting seeds and get the wheels rolling for Rollins to pretty much fail at his attempts to capture the WWE Universal Championship. And he could pretty much align himself with Roman Reigns again. And I'm not saying this, is going to be a permanent thing, but for a huge clash, a huge battle, align himself with Roman Reigns. You got the Bullet Club 4 deep, right? And Rollins could go out and get Roman Reigns. And if you want this big multi-branded type match, and you want that type of shit to be spread across every major pay-per-view in which both brands are going to be represented, Rollins and Reigns can reach out to Dean Ambrose. Put their differences aside for the goodness of WWE. Bring justice back to the WWE and make the Bullet Club, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, wreak havoc over WWE. And this is what I originally pitched, NWO style, leaving WWE superstars trashed and just mauled. Fucking spread blood across the land of WWE. Do what you gotta do to make this club, this stable, the most dominant thing you've seen since the Shield. And the only ones to stop them in his quest for the WWE Universal Championship is Seth Rollins getting the band back together. He's the architect, right? He's the one proclaiming that he's the architect. Get the band back together. Architect the Shield's reconstruction. Again, Reigns, Rollins, Ambrose. If you want to add a fourth, whatever. Add a fucking fourth. And we have this big clash at the end of the year. Have this big special event on the network. War Games, in which we see the Shield with an extra member, whoever the fuck you want to go out and get, Samoa Joe, I don't know, it could be anybody. You can insert anybody in there. This is going to be an opportunity to create another new star for that opportunity, for that situation. Have the Shield go out and get an honorary fourth, and have them battle the Bullet Club inside War Games. This is what I think WWE could do if they want to have fun with it. I am not saying this is exactly what's going to happen, but if you do want to add an extra twist to SummerSlam, I think that would be a phenomenal idea. Now, I don't know how many of you think Balor as a heel would be a good thing right now. That's the only thing probably, looming over this entire angle that I'm pitching to you guys. Because I think a lot of people would rather see Finn Balor as a babyface and win the title and pretty much cement his legacy already and be the face of the new era on Monday Night Raw and the WWE. But that's just what I'm thinking here. They could possibly do a double turn. The opportunity is there. And I think Rollins has it within him to be the babyface that WWE wants. But it's up to them to be creative with it. So that's what could possibly happen if they want to have fun with it. But I just figured I'd pitch that to you guys because we are going to talk about the WWE Championship. And the main event picture of SummerSlam sure has changed in the last 4 months. To the casual fan, whatever the matches end up being are what they're supposed to be. But a WWE draft, a brand split, and a failed drug test have shaken things up quite a bit backstage. Coming out of WrestleMania 32, a show that predictably ended with Roman Reigns raising the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, SummerSlam projections booked Reigns in the August main event against John Cena. Remember when that was being pitched and talked about and reported? And WWE hoped that to be a symbolic passing of the torch mega match to close SummerSlam. WWE pulled the plug on that program when it became obvious that the huge babyface push for Reigns wasn't getting over with the fans. Then came the brand split, causing WWE decision makers to come up with 2 world title matches for SummerSlam. Either Reigns or Rollins would have entered the main event as champion, with the other as the challenger. While the other brand, presumably always SmackDown, would have pitted 2 fresh contenders in a match for a newly created title. That's what the plans were. So coming out of the last pay-per-view, in which Rollins did not capture the WWE Championship, being that he was the #1 draft pick, and he was on Monday Night Raw, Stephanie McMahon came out the next night and created the Universal Championship, in which she made Seth Rollins the #1 contender at SummerSlam, and that was when we seen the meteoric rise of Finn Balor, beating 4 top WWE superstars in his debut on Monday Night Raw, one of them being Roman Reigns in the main event of that Monday Night Raw. As it turned out, Dean Ambrose retained the WWE Championship. Like I just mentioned, Rollins missed the opportunity there at Battleground and brought it with him to SmackDown, while Reigns' wellness policy violation earned him a demotion of sorts, sliding down the card. According to Ringside News, once the decision was made to keep the belt on Ambrose at Money in the Bank and ride his title reign into SummerSlam, his initial big summer opponent was supposed to be AJ Styles. Of course, this somewhat contradicts early reports that had Styles feuding with John Cena for 3 straight pay-per-views, but many WWE officials argued for their program to wrap up at Battleground so that Styles could challenge for the top prize at SummerSlam. Eventually, Vince McMahon and those officials were determined that there was too much unfinished business between Styles and Cena. Hence the 6-man tag, including Enzo and Big Cass, and the club at Battleground. Now the blow-off match will take place at SummerSlam, after which Cena will depart to start filming the 2nd season of American Grit. Pretty much, in my honest opinion, solidifying that AJ Styles will be victorious in their feud, passing the torch, not to Roman Reigns like was originally planned months ago, but this is going to be a passing of the torch to AJ Styles. It's got to be done. Now, the 2 world title matches at SummerSlam feature as many as 3 superstars who weren't projected to be in these spots as recently as a month ago. Seth Rollins faces Finn Balor for the yet-to-be-revealed WWE Universal Championship, with Balor earning the support of Vince McMahon and Triple H to the point where he is now favored to win that match and be crowned the new Universal Champion. And Ambrose defends his title against unlikely challenger Dolph Ziggler. With other top SmackDown stars, dancing cards filing up, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, and Cena with Styles. For SummerSlam, the Blue brand was offering a big opportunity to their crop of mid-carders on that brand. Ziggler emerged as the lucky one, but according to this report, Dolph will only be a transitional opponent for Ambrose, with the Lunatic Fringe expected to retain his title at SummerSlam. Whether Ambrose and Ziggler continue their feud past SummerSlam remains to be seen, but Ambrose's next program is already set, and that brings us back to AJ Styles. Many heavyweight championship programs run through multiple pay-per-views, but that's what's playing against Ziggler and in favor of Styles. Backlash is on September 11th, and that is the first exclusive pay-per-view to SmackDown. That show's creative staff will likely want to make a big splash, and Styles is the more high-profile star at this point, but that is purely, at this point, speculation. Even though Ziggler is being viewed as a transitional opponent, he's sure going to try to hold his coveted spot as long as he can. An impassioned promo this past week, which was one of Dolph Ziggler's best promos, if you ask me, in my honest opinion, detailing his trials and tribulations was a good start, followed by a solid win over Bray Wyatt. He'll have 2 more weeks to prove he belongs, aiming to steal the show at SummerSlam in the midst of a very crowded card. So that is what's going on right now. That is where WWE's mindset is with not only Dean Ambrose, but potential AJ Styles following his feud with John Cena. That's what's going on right now in the minds of WWE, with Dolph Ziggler being, right now, he's only going to be a transitional champion. And going into this, that was pretty much what I was kind of thinking of. I don't see Ziggler really being in the cards right now coming out of SummerSlam. And the report does make a very, very good point. An exclusive branded pay-per-view for SmackDown only. They need to make a big splash. They failed at doing so with the first SmackDown of the new era. You cannot have that happen again. And this is why I detail that John Cena taking time off right now to film American Grit is a bad, bad, bad thing. Very bad for SmackDown. Why are you going to have your number one guy, realistically, off that pay-per-view to film a fucking reality show? I don't understand it. I really don't get it. That's not where WWE wants to be right now. That is a huge card right out from under WWE. That's a huge card that's not going to be in the deck that WWE is going to start shuffling out on that branded pay-per-view, man. You can't have that. And I don't know where WWE is going to come up with 3 hours of programs with an exclusive pay-per-view for SmackDown only. I don't see it. Not with that fucking card. Not with that roster. I mean, what's going to happen? You're going to have AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose potentially go 30-plus minutes? I mean, I would love to see that. But how is that going to transition to the people sitting in the audience and the people sitting at home? Are they going to really give us 30 minutes of a all-out war for the WWE Championship? What's going to happen with Dolph Ziggler and others like Bray Wyatt? Is Bray Wyatt going to be back from injury? Reports going around that Bray Wyatt has an ankle injury, that he rolled his ankle in that match with Dolph Ziggler. Is he going to be okay to wrestle? Because if you lose John Cena and Bray Wyatt is out for injury, I don't see how this is going to work. I really don't see how this is going to work. They need to build a tag team championship feud. They need to possibly put a number one contenders tag team title match on there. A women's match for the women's championship that they're going to be bringing to SmackDown. Hopefully not Eva Marie. A number one contenders match to set up the next challenger. I don't know what WWE is going to do. This might be the most difficult task of this new era. This is why I did not want exclusive branded pay-per-views. This was one of the huge, overwhelmingly negative aspects of the brand split. Every pay-per-view, if you wanted it to be 12 months of pay-per-view, every pay-per-view should have been a split branded pay-per-view. You know, Raw and SmackDown both represented. I don't understand why WWE is going with the exclusive brand-only pay-per-views. That was one of the huge downfalls of the original brand split. Most of those pay-per-views were fucking terrible outside of the main event. 3 hours wasted. It was more like a SmackDown show than anything. And nobody watches a pay-per-view to watch a SmackDown type show. You watch a pay-per-view because big things are supposed to happen, big matches are supposed to happen, feuds are supposed to be blown off. I don't want to watch a exclusive branded pay-per-view for SmackDown or Raw only and not have anything happen. I'm not too concerned about Raw's exclusive pay-per-views only, because once they get, you know, with the Cruiserweight Championship situation and they get that all taken care of on Monday Night Raw, you can fill the matches, you can fill the cards with Cruiserweights, Cruiserweight Championship, U.S. Championship, Tag Team Championship, Universal Championship. WWE can fill out 3 hours of pay-per-view for a Raw exclusive pay-per-view. SmackDown is where we're all worried. And I want you guys to understand this. I'm not putting down SmackDown, okay? I am genuinely concerned for the 3-hour pay-per-view format if it's going to be a SmackDown-only show. I don't want them to book the show like SmackDown. You know, 2 hours is okay. They can get away with it for 2 hours. But I feel like once the pay-per-view comes, it's going to feel more like a SmackDown than it is a pay-per-view. This is going to be a huge task for WWE to overcome, and I don't think it's going to happen. How long before we get these shows and these pay-per-views to pretty much run out of gas? How long is it going to take for these shows to lose steam and get boring and repetitive? That's what I'm concerned about. That was what my concern was going into this. And I don't understand how WWE is going to come out of this. I really don't. I hope they do. I hope we see some creativity. But I don't see anything at this point that WWE could do to make this work. And that's where I'm concerned. But as far as Ambrose, I'd like to see him with the title for a little bit longer. I think he's doing very well. His promos have been spot on. His work has been spot on. He looks the part. He deserves the part. And a feud with AJ Styles over the title, I think that would be great. And you can get other people involved as well. Apollo Crews is fighting for the Intercontinental Championship. Hopefully he comes out on top. That would solidify him and get him in the spotlight and get fans to back him and get him some momentum. Ziggler, Wyatt, Cena missing this brand and the dates coming up for American Grit. I don't like that at all. Cena is a big hand. Even though you might not like him, he's still a big hand. You got American Alpha. You got to start showcasing some of these tag teams. Build up Breezango. Build up the Ascension. Build up the Hype Bros. Get some momentum on these, under these guys and on these teams. So when they're presented in a bigger spotlight, we care about them. And hopefully WWE can flesh all this out before Backlash, because I don't want to see Backlash fail. That was one of my major concerns, and hopefully WWE proves me wrong. Ryback officially done with the WWE. Does anybody fucking care? Of course not. Good. Goodbye. Sayonara. Go to TNA. In what will probably not come as shocking news to anybody, Ryback announced on Friday via his Instagram account that he is no longer an employee of WWE. In his Instagram video, Ryback begins by wishing the WWE the best in their future endeavors. Ooh. Mr. Smartass Ryback is. And says that the two will not be conducting business together anymore. He then goes on to thank everybody that he had the pleasure of stepping in the ring with. The big guy then goes on to plug his new website, feedmemore.com, saying that it will be launching on Monday, August 8th. It will feature a line of merchandise, a motivational book, nutritional sports supplements, and more. Good for him. Good for him. He's got Plan B. Ryback has been one of those guys to save his money. He's been well documented to say that he saved his money. And if he's got his own line of merchandise, a book, to motivate others who want to get into the industry and tell his side of the story, nutritional sports supplements and more, that's good, man. He's got a Plan B. That's commendable on Ryback for thinking ahead, because he knew he did not want to conduct business with the WWE anymore. Good on him. Didn't like him, but I never said he was a fucking dummy. Also, he says that he will be wrestling a full schedule and gives information on how he can be booked. He concludes by thanking everybody and says that successful people are always hungry. What are you? Ryback last appeared on WWE programming at Payback in April of this year. He was sent home before the May 2nd episode of Monday Night Raw after a contract dispute arose between him and Vince McMahon. The points that Ryback made in his video all were honest. By the way, he made the comments probably ensured that he would never return to the WWE. The company doesn't like people breaking kayfabe in ways that draw attention to the fact that wrestling is scripted, although WWE has made a big point to let fans know that the wrestlers are actors playing roles and do not represent what publicly traded companies may believe in. Listen, WWE's broke kayfabe plenty of times, man. Just look at Breaking Ground. That entire fucking series is breaking kayfabe. Give me a fucking break. They don't like when people break kayfabe. They do it themselves. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H on their fucking Twitters have, we play villains and bad guys on television. Just that alone is breaking kayfabe. So that is very hypocritical and contradictory of WWE to say, man. Fuck that. Fuck that. At this point, Ryback could do whatever the fuck he wants. I never said he was a fucking idiot. I just never liked his character. And that's because WWE fucked up Ryback so badly that he never, ever would come back from the dismal fucking character development that they bestowed upon him during his time in WWE. After that feud with CM Punk at Hell in a Cell, Ryback went right down the fucking toilet. Nothing about Ryback was even remotely interesting on television. They gave him the Intercontinental Championship following Daniel Bryan's, injury, and nobody cared. He made a mockery of the Intercontinental Championship, and I don't even blame that on him. I don't even blame that on him. I blame that on WWE Creative. They did not know what to do with him. As soon as this guy opened his fucking mouth, following the destruction of all those enhancement talents, showcasing what a fucking beast this guy is, He was never the same. And then they typically, at the end of their careers, WWE just makes a fucking mockery completely out of them. They made this guy into a Goldberg ripoff. They took away his Rob Van Dam overalls, and they gave him black trunks that said the big guy on the back, who wore black trunks in WCW and was a fucking monster, very reminiscent of what Goldberg was doing in his early career in WWE. Bill Goldberg, right? So I don't know why they transitioned him into a Bill Goldberg lookalike by his ring attire. It was a joke. It was a joke. And people just genuinely didn't care, and you could tell they didn't care by the reactions that Ryback was getting when he came out to wrestle. And he had some decent matches along the way. He had a decent match with Kalisto on one of the pre-shows. He brought, he had a decent match with Bray Wyatt a while back. But Ryback never really was anything special in the ring. Nothing at all. I commend him for having the guts to do what he wants to do here and leave the company and say the things that he's saying and the fact that he has a plan B. But Ryback in the WWE is probably going to be best for both parties. I don't see Ryback fitting into this new era initiative at all. I think the landscape of WWE is changing. I think Ryback, in his mind, is bigger than what everybody else thinks he is. And if he has that mentality and he goes somewhere else, he could be very successful. If he goes to a Ring of Honor, if he goes to a TNA, he could be very successful and continue doing what he loves doing. We may even see him show up in What Culture Pro Wrestling. I would not be shocked to see him in What Culture Pro Wrestling, to be honest with you. But Ryback, listen, he's fresh off a release or a walk away from the WWE. This guy's going to find work. No question Ryback is going to find work. He's still going to be making his money. Nobody should be feeling bad for Ryback. Obviously, he has his shit together. So he's going to be making his money. He's going to have his name out there. Nobody should be feeling bad for Ryan Reeves whatsoever. He's happy. He's going to be happy. He just got surgery. He's fixing himself up so that he can get back into the ring full time. WWE didn't want him. They don't need him. Both parties are probably going to be happy at the end of all this. So it's a win-win situation. Leave it at that. Ryback officially done with the WWE. Backstage update on Nikki Bella's in-ring future in the WWE. This is the most up-to-date information on Nikki Bella. Last time I talked about this, there was reports about Nikki Bella returning in October to WWE action. Back in January of this year, it was reported that Nikki Bella would be having neck surgery, which could possibly bring her in-ring wrestling career to an end. Her estimated recovery time was 6 months. In May, reports were going around that her recovery was going well and that things were moving along quite nicely. Now, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer is reporting that although Bella has been training at the Performance Center in Orlando for an in-ring comeback, she still has not been medically cleared to compete. The belief is that she will eventually be given the green light to wrestle, but it will only be on a part-time basis. If she is cleared, Meltzer reports that she will be positioned as the star of SmackDown Live. Bella's last wrestling match came in October 25th, 2015, when she failed to recapture the then WWE Divas Championship from Charlotte at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Prior to this, she held the title for 301 days, making her the longest reigning Divas Champion of all time. Nikki Bella will be on SmackDown because of the only reason I can think of is that John Cena is there. So Cena and Nikki Bella obviously have been linked together in a relationship. This has been well documented on Total Divas, so there's no reason to believe that Nikki Bella will go anywhere else but SmackDown. But I would rather see Nikki Bella positioned in a part-time role as a star in the women's division on SmackDown. I think Nikki Bella is good enough in the ring to get the point across that, listen, she still has a lot left in the tank. Part-time, you don't need to have her wrestling on house shows. Have her wrestle on television tapings only. House shows, not necessary. She should be included in major storylines. She can still be positioned in the midst of that championship run. It's going to be great to have her back because I'm concerned that WWE does not have enough women on the roster right now for a championship to be included on that brand, to develop another championship for the women. If they add Nikki Bella, and they go out and get Melina, and they go out and get Victoria, which I'll be talking about in a second, that gives the WWE a lot of helping hands to make that a credible division. On top of that, you got Natalya, you got Naomi, you got Becky, you got Carmella, you got Alexa Bliss, you add Nikki Bella, Victoria, and Melina. You got one hell of a division right there, man. And I would be okay with that. And everything I said in the past, I would take back. Because at the point of this, WWE didn't give you any information about what they were going to do with the Women's Championship and the Tag Team Championship specifically. Now that things are coming together, Nikki Bella's possibly coming back, and WWE's trying to reach out to other women and other male WWE superstars from years past to try and bring them in to bolster this roster. I am feeling a little bit more comfortable, but not yet, because contracts have not been signed. I haven't seen anybody debut on television as of yet. But if everything comes together and WWE can get Nikki Bella back and go out and get these other women that they're potentially trying to sign, I am okay with adding another championship. Because then things can be fun. You can have fun. It opens up a huge world of creativity. So I am okay with that. They just need to get these pens to the contract signed and make things happen. I want to see both brands succeed. I want to see both brands thrive. They can't do that right now. You don't have any tag team division on SmackDown. You don't have any tag team division on Raw. You don't have a women's division on Raw. You don't have a women's division on SmackDown. You can't build a division with 5 to 6 women only. Before that gets stale and repetitive matches start happening, you can't have that. You cannot have that happen. So once WWE gets women and superstars that they want signed and put on certain brands, Nikki Bella's back, I think things will be a lot easier, but she will be back in a part-time basis, according to Dave Meltzer. That is the right opportunity for her. You do not need her risking injury and wrestling on house shows, unimportant shows. Have her on SmackDown tapings only. That's once a week. Have her included in major storylines. I think Nikki Bella has a lot left to give in the WWE, and she is not that bad in the ring at all. I hope she comes back very soon, because I want to see the women's division on SmackDown thrive. Nikki Bella can definitely help that out in the long run. Gonna break some hearts here with this next report. Sasha Banks, rumored to now be a married woman. Yes, I will let all of you guys start shedding your tears before I continue. I know Sasha Banks is fucking hot. I understand that. I know everybody that has a fucking cock and balls between their fucking legs finds Sasha Banks to be fucking overwhelmingly attractive. I understand this, but you never had a shot with her in your entire life. Sorry to break your fucking hearts, goons, okay? You never had a shot with her. Nobody ever had a shot with her. And right now, rumored that Sasha Banks is a married woman. If these reports are true, I believe that the boss just broke a lot of the hearts of wrestling fans all around the world. There have been many rumors and pictures flying all around social media today that Sasha Banks had wed her fiancé, Sarath Mikaze Tun. I don't know if I pronounced that right. You might have to forgive me, but whatever the case, this guy is a goon, okay? Just throwing that out there. The couple have been engaged since last year. Good for him. Tun used to work in NXT, but now is employed by WWE as a seamster. As of this report, neither Banks nor Tun have confirmed the marriage. Banks defeated Charlotte for the WWE Women's Championship on July 25th edition of Monday Night Raw. She is scheduled to defend her title in a rematch against Charlotte at Summerslam. This is the second WWE wedding to occur in the last week, as Rusev and Lana were married last weekend in Malibu, California. Sasha Banks, now a married woman. Oh my God. I'm sorry to tell you guys, but it looks like it was going to happen anyway. Looks like it's true. And if it's not true, it's going to happen anyway. I mean, they look very happy together. And whatever the case may be, man, I wish Sasha Banks the best. And good luck. That's all I can say about that, man. John Cena will be taking more time off from the WWE. This is what fucking kills me about this exclusive branded pay-per-view, man. At SummerSlam, John Cena will go one-on-one with AJ Styles in an historic match to determine who is the better man between them once and for all. However, there has been a rumor going about John Cena missing SmackDown's first exclusive pay-per-view entitled Backlash in September. It is now being revealed why he'll miss that event and may be taking more time away from WWE. On top of American Grit, according to the RingsideNews.com website, John Cena's reality series American Grit has been renewed by Fox for a second season, which is going to be filmed later this year. Cena has already reduced his house show schedule and is working a much lighter schedule with WWE than he has in the past. But American Grit will most likely take him away from SmackDown and WWE for a few months. There's also rumors that John Cena is going to be doing some promotional work in China for the WWE. That's going to take him off the road for the time being. When Cena filmed the first season of American Grit, he was roughly gone for 2 months. Then he returned for a short period, only to suffer a serious shoulder injury that cost another 5 months of his WWE career. If John Cena is going to start taking more and more time away from WWE, you have to wonder how his body is going to adjust to the lifestyle change. So there you got it, man. You know, everybody's talking about Cena taking time off. I don't like it at all, and I think he should be at Backlash. I honestly think he should be at Backlash. Now, the report says at the end of the year or later this year. I don't know when later this year is. It could be after September. Backlash happens in the first, I think, 2 weeks. I think it's the second week of September. He needs to be there. Whatever the case is, if he's in a match, he needs to be in a match to solidify another big marquee match for that show. I don't give a shit. American Grit can wait. You know, his first priority, he even said it on Monday Night Raw in the promo with AJ Styles. His home is WWE. He finds himself here. This is his number one priority. So show it. American Grit is not that important. Backlash right now is of the utmost importance, not only to WWE but to SmackDown. You need to be there. This can wait. So hopefully, I'm hoping this is wrong, and that Cena is at Backlash. Then he can film whatever the fuck he wants. Go away. 2 months, 3 months, whatever the case may be, take him off television. But for Backlash, to make a good first impression and to solidify that card right now while WWE is in the process of going out and getting a Shelton Benjamin, which I hope he's on that card, and an MVP, and whoever else they want to go out there and get. To solidify that roster so that when John Cena is gone and filming, it's not going to hurt as much. He needs to be at Backlash. No questions asked. And finally, guys, the real reason why WWE chose Mick Foley as Raw's general manager. Raw actually has a very nice combination of authority figures. Stephanie McMahon has been in that role for a long time now on WWE programming, but Mick Foley is an older choice, but experienced. A lot of the people were surprised to see Mick Foley back in such a role on Monday Night Raw, but there is said to be a specific reason why he was chosen over all others to be Raw's general manager. According to a report from RingsideNews.com, one of the biggest reasons why Foley was brought back to the brand may also be an obvious one. Holy Foley is going to be premiering on the WWE Network after SummerSlam, so the Raw GM role is good for Foley to help promote his show on the network. No matter how the show does on the network, there is some speculation about Foley being replaced by another after the show ends, but there isn't any news about that as of this writing. What's great about Mick Foley is that he can be the voice of reason for Stephanie, or there could be a storyline somewhere down the line because Triple H is bound to return to Raw sooner or later. We don't want Triple H on Raw in an authority role. We don't want him to be anything close to a GM. I like Mick Foley's dynamic. Mick Foley has it within him, like the report said, to be that voice of reason, to cut a great promo, to get in somebody's face and just fucking lay it out there and tell it as it is. I'm liking Foley so far as the GM of Monday Night Raw. I would not even be thinking about replacing him with anybody else after Holy Foley ends. Why? You know, we don't want to have a revolving door of general managers. Keep someone in place for a long time. Let it stick. Otherwise, it's just going to be the same shit over and over and over again. Foley's doing a great job, and if he's doing a great job, there's no reason to replace him whatsoever. That is Off the Script. That is part 2 of episode 129. If you guys enjoyed the show today, all I ask of you is to show some love, leave a comment, and hit that thumbs up, man. If you guys missed anything previously that I did this week, including that huge King of the Ring trailer that I did for WWE 2K16, we're going to crown a King of the Ring on the road to WWE 2K17. The first match is already recorded. That is going live on Monday. So make sure you guys check that out. Anything else that you guys missed video-wise is linked down in the description below. Make sure you guys go check that out. I'll leave you an annotation on the video screen as well. Pro Wrestling Tees, Barbershop Window. Get your fucking t-shirts today. WrestleCrate, WrestleCrate.com, and on Twitter at WrestleCrates. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Same thing, JD from NY206. Patreon.com/JD from NY206 if you guys want to pledge. And the iTunes podcast, man. iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Audio Boom, Podbean, and Google Play Music. If you guys want Off the Script and JD on the go, You got 5 different platforms to take me along with you, man. You could be on the fucking toilet dumping yourself. You could be fucking on the bus going to school, in a cab, going to the bar, getting yourself trashed, going to work, on the train, on an airplane, wherever the fuck you guys are going, man. Take me with you. 5 different platforms. You guys got Off The Script whenever, wherever you want, man. iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Audio Boom, and Google Play Music. I'll be back with part 3 of Off The Script. We're going to be talking about Roman Reigns and Rusev for the United States Championship being planned for SummerSlam. Smackdown introducing new championships. Victoria coming back to the WWE. Lillian Garcia departing from the WWE. The Usos out with injury. Backstage news on Braun Strowman. Huge news about the WWE at this point, as of right now, having Randy Orton defeat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and WWE lowballing past talents and them declining offers to come back to both Raw and SmackDown, man. Huge news on that as well, plus so much more. Stay right here, man. This is the #1 fucking podcast on YouTube.com, in your subscription boxes. I'm JD, and I'll see you guys for part 3 of Off The Script. Talk to you later.